If you have ever doubted that quiet people carry the deepest secrets, listen carefully to this story. Because this is the story of Mina, the maid who never spoke. Not because she was mute, not because she was afraid, but because silence was the only thing protecting the people she loved. And when she finally opened her mouth, her voice saved an entire family. Stay with me, the silent girl who entered the Donovan family. The Donovan household was not a place of peace. Outside, their mansion looked perfect. White walls, trimmed hedges, tall gates. But inside, arguments lived in every hallway. Stress lingered in every room. Silence, real silence, was rare, until the day Mina arrived. She came early in the morning, carrying a small cloth bag and wearing a faded dress. Her eyes stayed low. Her shoulders curled inward, as though she was afraid of taking up space. When Mrs. Donovan asked her name, she whispered it once, barely audible, and never spoke again. The family assumed she was shy, or uneducated, or maybe just strange. But no one knew the truth. Mina wasn't afraid of speaking. She was afraid of what would happen if she did. In her silence, she moved through the house like a shadow, sweeping floors before dawn, folding laundry with perfect precision, arranging Leo's textbooks in neat piles, warming tea for Mrs. Donovan, and staying out of Mr. Donovan's way completely. She saw everything, heard everything, understood everything, but said nothing. Sometimes, when the family argued, she paused her work and listened with sad eyes. When Mr. Donovan yelled about the company losing money, when Mrs. Donovan cried over unpaid bills, when Leo slammed his door in frustration, Mina would look down, clutch her hands and silently pray, because she knew something they didn't, something dangerous, something that was already creeping toward them like a shadow. But the Donovans never looked close enough to see fear in her eyes. The house that trembled every night. Every night, strange things began happening. The gate creaked when no one touched it. Footsteps sounded outside the windows. The doorbell rang with no one at the door. And sometimes, the security lights flickered on, quick flashes cutting through the darkness, revealing a silhouette standing far beyond the fence. Mr. Donovan thought it was stress playing tricks on him. Mrs. Donovan thought it was faulty wiring. Leo joked about ghosts. But Mina, whenever she saw those lights flicker, her hands would shake. Her breathing would hitch. She would retreat into the kitchen and press her back against the wall, whispering one long, trembling prayer, because she recognized the silhouette. But she still said nothing. Her silence was a storm building inside her chest. And every day she held it in, the storm grew stronger. The night the rain fell like warnings. It happened on a Thursday, a night when the clouds were heavy with anger and the rain had no mercy. Thunder crashed so violently that the windows vibrated. Inside the living room, the Donovans were fighting again. Mr. Donovan had discovered that someone had hacked into his company's financial records. Funds were missing, contracts corrupted, sensitive data stolen. He was moments away from losing everything. His wife blamed him, his son blamed him, and he blamed himself. While they shouted, Mina stood in the hallway, holding a laundry basket, trembling from head to toe. Not from the thunder, not from the argument, but because she had heard a sound she feared above all others. A quiet, deliberate footstep coming from upstairs. She dropped the basket. It hit the floor with a loud thud, enough to stop the argument. Mrs. Donovan turned sharply. Mina, what's wrong? Mina tried to speak. Her lips parted, but no sound came. Her throat tightened. Her breath shook. Mrs. Donovan approached her slowly. Mina, are you hurt? Tell me. But Mina had spent years choking down her words. Words she was not allowed to speak. Words that could destroy everything, or save it. Another footstep echoed from upstairs. Heavier this time. Intentional. Mr. Donovan grabbed a flashlight. Someone's in the house. He took a step toward the staircase. And that was the moment Mina broke. Her voice burst out like something tearing inside her. Stop! It was barely a whisper. But in the storm of their fear and confusion, it slammed into all of them. They froze. Their maid, the girl who never spoke, had spoken. Mr. Donovan narrowed his eyes. Mina, what did you say? Her hands shook violently. Her breath came in uneven gasps. And then, with a trembling voice, she forced out words she had held in for months. Don't go upstairs. He's dangerous. The family stared at her as though they were seeing her for the first time. Mrs. Donovan whispered, Who is upstairs, Mina? Mina's tears burst free. Her voice cracked. It's my brother. Her secret breaks open. A heavy silence fell over the room. Mina wiped her tears with trembling fingers. Her voice came in broken pieces. He followed me here when you took me in. He wanted your money, your company, your information. Mr. Donovan's face hardened. You knew he was stealing from us? I tried to stop him, she cried. I begged him to leave. I stayed silent so he wouldn't hurt you. I thought I could protect you. A loud crash sounded upstairs. Papers rustling. Drawers opening. He was searching for something. Leo whispered, So the thief, the one ruining Dad's company, that's your brother?
Mina nodded, sobbing.
I didn't know he would go this far. I didn't know he would break in tonight. Thunder slammed against the sky. The lights flickered. Mr. Donovan clenched his jaw. Where is he? Mina swallowed hard. In the attic. There's a hidden space behind the wall. He's been using it to hide the documents. Her voice was barely holding together. I can show you. Please, let me help. Let me fix what he did. For the first time, they saw something beyond her silence. Courage, guilt, loyalty, and a heart that had been hurting alone. The confrontation in the attic. With Mina leading the way, they climbed the creaking stairs in darkness. Every step felt like walking into a trap. Mina stopped at the end of the hallway and pointed to a narrow panel in the wall. He's inside. Mr. Donovan pulled the panel open. There he was. A tall, rough-looking man crouched beside stolen documents, money, and devices. His eyes widened when he saw them. Mina, he hissed. You brought them here? Mina stepped forward, voice trembling. Stop, please. This has to end. He looked at her, really looked. Her tears, her fear, her bravery. For the first time in years, he hesitated. You used to listen to me, he growled softly. You used to stay quiet. I stayed quiet because I was scared, she whispered. But not anymore. Her brother's shoulders slumped, as if her voice, this small, fragile voice she had hidden for so long, was the one thing strong enough to break him. He dropped the stolen documents, then the hard drive, then the cash. By the time police sirens approached, he was kneeling on the floor, defeated, not by force, but by Mina's voice. The morning everything changed. The next morning felt like a different world. A world where the truth had finally breathed. The stolen money was returned. The corrupted files were recovered. The company was saved. In the quiet aftermath, the Donovans sat together, something they had not done peacefully in months. And Mina stood before them expecting anger, expecting to be thrown out, expecting to lose everything. But instead, Mrs. Donovan wrapped her arms around her. Leo thanked her again and again. And Mr. Donovan placed a hand on her shoulder and said, You didn't destroy us, Mina. You saved us. For the first time in years, Mina was happy and satisfied, gentle, relieved, free. Her silence had been her shield, but her voice, shaky, fragile, and late, had become their salvation. Thank you for watching, and please do leave a like and follow. For more stories, do you think Mina did the right thing? Please do well to share your thoughts. More stories coming soon. Subscribe for weekly tale.